48 hours after a couple escaped from prison. The police are still looking for them. Law enforcement officials say they have no leads on where that couple may be.
That's right. Blane and Susan Barksdale fled Monday night in Utah when security officers were transporting them back to Tucson to face justice. The last time they were seen was in Northeastern Arizona. Team 12's Bram Resnick has the latest. Bram?
Yeah, investigators are warning the public Blane and Susan Barksdale are likely armed and dangerous. The reward for their capture has now been doubled.
Blane and Susan Barksdale's first escape from the law started sometime after April 16th in Tucson. 72-year-old Frank Bly was reported missing. Bly's home mysteriously caught fire and exploded, his car found abandoned. Bly's body has never been found. 8 days later, April 24th, Blane Barksdale's nephew, Brent Mallard, was arrested on arson charges connected to the fire and explosion. A month later, May 24th, in Henrietta, New York, outside Rochester, U.S. Marshals captured the fugitive Barksdales on murder charges. That brings us to Monday in the southeastern community of Blanding. The Barksdales overpowered two security guards, delivering them from New York to face justice in Tucson. They took a van. In nearby St. John's, Arizona, they abandoned the van. But in the hamlet of Vernon, 20 miles east of Show Low, they were able to obtain a red GMC Sierra pickup. That is the last time the Barksdales were seen. Blane and Susan Barksdale are described as armed and dangerous. 56-year-old Blane Barksdale is a big man, 6'5", 260 pounds. He served 7 years in an Arizona prison on drug and theft offenses, getting out in the early 90s. He had a long disciplinary record in prison and was affiliated with the Aryan Brotherhood. 59-year-old Susan Barksdale has no apparent criminal record. She's 5'7", 125 pounds. She's reported to be proficient with firearms. Documents show she and Blane Barksdale own a Tucson woodworking business.
And the Barksdales were last seen driving a red GMC Sierra pickup truck with the Arizona license plate 127XTY. The U.S. Marshal Service is offering a reward of up to $10,000 per fugitive for information leading to their arrests. And coming up on 12 News at 6, a former FBI profiler tells me where he thinks the Barksdales might be headed. Let's send it back to you.